I can do it. You can do it. Today we're mostly about decluttering. I am about to show you my downstairs bathroom declutter. I'm trying to go room by room in the house and just make sure everything is completely decluttered. Now those of you who watch my videos regularly, you're saying, why are you doing your makeup at the desk? You made a makeup station for yourself. Well, I need to get some new lighting over there. It's just too dark, and honestly, there's no way I can film and talk to you over there because it's in a little nook of the bedroom. So anyway, I'm going to show you that, and after I get done with my makeup, I am going to declutter the paperwork in my file cabinet, and I have these that are stuck together that I got online. I'm pulling out the paperwork for my daughters who live in the home, putting it in there, putting their name on it, and giving it to them, which to me is very exciting. I'm just kind of like with the possessions, not the people, but peeling the adults off of me. Does that make sense? So I am just going through pictures and all the things, giving it to whomever it should go to. If there's anything that they would get upon my death that is sentimental, I'm going to give it to them now. I don't need it. Downsizing. Then, so funny because I had filmed some recipes and thought I shared them in other videos, and I'm like looking back frantically yesterday like, where is it? I didn't actually share it. So I have a corn casserole to show you because I've been trying to work my way through of cans in my pantry, because when I did my last pantry declutter, which you can find on my channel, it's very recent, within the month for sure, I noticed I had a lot of cans, and I had like 4 cans of corn. I have no idea why, because we hardly ever eat canned corn unless it's going into a recipe. Also, one of you had suggested when I did that video that I have the rack over the door that has shelves on it, the wire shelves that you put over a door of a pantry. And they're always super messy with like Gladlock bag, freezer bags and lunch bags, spices, not spices, but like envelopes of seasonings, which are actually spices, but you know what I mean. And one of you suggested putting cans there because then I would be able to see exactly what I have. So I did that, and I want to show that to you. Doesn't that look great? I'm so happy, and I've already used so many of the cans, but I digress because I was telling you about recipes. Then there is a nacho, and I feel like I said this. I feel like I shared it. So I'm going to put it at the end of the video. If I already shared it and you don't want to see it again, you can click off. But it's this vegan nacho dip, gluten-free vegan. It's so good. It started out, Rachel was making it because she is gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free. And then we tried it and we were like, this is so good. Like, you would never know there's not cheese in it. So I'm going to show that to you. It has cashews in it, and it has nutritional yeast, which is what gives it that cheesy flavor. I'm going to share that one with you. So I can't wait to get going. Let's go down to the bathroom now. Oh, if you're new here, my name is Karen. Welcome to my home. This is the cabinet over my washer and dryer, and where I'm going to get started. Honestly, would not have thought there was anything that needed to be decluttered. In general, I keep up with it. I do keep some seasonal dishcloths up here for drying towels and a couple of these microfiber cloths in case everything is in the laundry. I keep a couple just so that I have some extras on hand. I don't have to go all the way down to the basement and go through seasonal declutter. And then there's always things like this, the Q-tips that were in 2 separate boxes because we have to open both of them, So I combine them all into one. And then on this bottom shelf, this is where I keep hand towels. And then to the left of that, I have a little container that you would normally use in a pantry that I keep face cloths in. It just kind of helps me to keep things neat here. And then this is the cabinet where we have the laundry soap, and that stays, I mean, it's laundry soap, right? And then this one does get messy. I have too much stain remover. I'm not quite sure how that happened. And then I also have wax pots that the girls use. They do their own eyebrow waxing, etc. But what I was noticing in the box where I have stuff for the laundry is that I had hydrogen peroxide bottles. I have way too much hydrogen peroxide too, but the bottles themselves couldn't stand up straight, and always leaking can be an issue in these areas. So what I decided to do was to raise the upper shelf one more level so that those hydrogen peroxide bottles that you see here could stand up straight, and the toothbrushes weren't going to be knocking onto the shelf above it. And then I saw I had just that little bit of first aid, that blue, it's kind of like tape, it just clings. That should not be there because my first aid stuff is upstairs in a cabinet in my hallway. So then I'm putting back the wax pots. I just was making sure that everything was nice and neat, and I just took it out so that I could raise that shelf. Not really a big deal. And then I can go on to the next thing. You notice I'm not wiping down anything because that would just distract me. And I really wanted to neaten, declutter, and organize. Next up, I had these two boxes on top of the dryer, and before, one was on the washer, one was on the dryer. So I'm going to go through these and just see what needs to be here, what doesn't need to be here. That was a cup that was actually from something we used to keep in the upstairs bathroom that we no longer use, so I got rid of that cup. It is officially a declutter. And the Prilosec needed to go with our other medications that I don't keep here. And then in this blue box that you can see in my mirror was a bunch of cat medications. And some of it had leaked because there was some foot shampoo for Leo. Leo has an autoimmune disorder that was recently diagnosed. Woozy also had a skin infection. So we have got all these medications. Some of them they're still on. Some of them they're not on. So I kept things that were like spray for the ear to clean out the ear canal, and the shampoo for Leo's feet, even though we're not currently using it. Any antibiotics, medications that they're done with, I got rid of. And the shampoo had leaks, so that's why I'm washing each bottle, getting rid of anything like that is an antibiotic. And then on the bottom of this was quite a mess. And so I'm going to get that cleaned up, and I still had the tag on it. I do love this box, but I'm going to find another use for it that you're going to see here in just a minute. But first of all, I'm just using some hot water and a scrubby and getting it all cleaned out, and then we can use it for its new purpose. And the shampoos and such, I have a place underneath my stairs going down to the basement that you will see in another video. I did get a request to declutter those spots, some of those small drawers, and that kind of sparked all of this, which is such a huge blessing. You guys are always a huge blessing to me. But anyways, I put the cat shampoos there, and then the cat medicine that we're still going to currently use, I'm going to be putting in a Gladlock bag and putting it back on the container, the other basket that is on top of the dryer. That way, if there is any leaking, it will leak into the freezer bag. Although I don't think that was doing any leaking. I would have seen it because it's more like a reddish color. Now that is all nice and clean. And as you can see, putting all the droppers, I just keep them all, except for this one was a little broken. I can't even remember what that one was for. Either way, it was for a cat, but every time they give you medication, they always give you these droppers for free. I am keeping the other ones because we like to put them in the dishwasher in between uses, so there's always one available. Now I decided that this box is lost and found. When I see things around the house, I pop it in there and people can come and get their possessions, and it is Leo approved. Lastly, I'm just doing a check on the vanity because I tend to get ready upstairs now that my bedroom is upstairs. So I'm just kind of recategorizing these little dividers that I got at Dollar General a few years back, actually.
That's the great thing about silicone and plastic. It does last forever. So I got it all organized. I was really so happy that I did, because later on the girls were in here getting ready and doing their waxing, and everything was super easy for them to find. It's, decluttering isn't always, okay, this plastic cup is going. So there was 3 of those total. I got rid of all of them. It's not always about getting rid of. Sometimes it is just about reorganizing, or, decluttering means no more clutter. Some of the clutter needs to go. In fact, I found a Bath and Body soap that needed to go. And I also found that cup that needed to go. And sometimes it's like I had 2 bottles of the hand soap, and so one of them was almost empty, so I emptied it into the soap dispenser so that I could get rid of it, or I'll notice that things could be a lot more efficient, like these light days. We can keep a few down here, but we have a cabinet upstairs where the light days go. So I like to have some downstairs for people that are using this bathroom, but by and large, definitely not boxes of light days. I have that little container on the far left, and that is where the feminine products go. We keep enough down here if someone, needs to use the bathroom and they need to have it right away. But as far as storage, that is more upstairs. This was actually fun for me because I wasn't like having to do this huge task. It was more a zhuzh. You know what I'm saying? So one of the benefits of having done all of this decluttering over the years is the job just isn't as big as it used to be. And that just feels so good. And I feel like I wouldn't do this just once a year. Obviously, it's January now. I feel like this is something that could be done more seasonally. Like I might find something that I want to keep the little cups in and do that another time. Each time you can just do it a little bit better, organize it a little bit stronger. But knowing that I don't have a huge declutter ahead of me helps me not to dread the job. This was actually very relaxing and satisfying since it wasn't this huge job I created for myself. Also, I feel like it really helped me that I went in deciding you're not wiping anything down. You're just going to go in there. You're going to make sure everything is organized, see if there's anything that could come out. And then another day, when everything is still organized, you can go in there and quickly wipe everything down, and it will be so much easier. And breaking tasks up into small jobs just really helps me to stay relaxed and actually enjoy cleaning because I haven't made it such an overwhelming task. This is actually not the same day because, as you see, I'm wearing a different shirt. So it is time to make some corn casserole, but I want to get the kitchen cleaned up before I do that. Yvonne came in. She is helping me by making a grocery order while I work. So I'm going to let you hear a little bit of that, just kind of the natural sounds of the day. But let's enjoy this few seconds of ASMR doing the dishes before we head into the corn casserole.
Do we need any more K-cups?
No.
Well, actually, order the... Yeah, we actually do. Blueberry and the caramel. It's not having the caramel, though. I'm not quite sure why they're always getting that.
I know. I think it was so popular. How many of the buttery caramel?
2. Oh, the next time I'm in the store and I see them, I'm going to take all of them.
I want to go with. Girl, I want to go with.
Okay. It's like, I get all this corn. I don't know how it happened. Oh, a stick of butter. Melted. Okay. Well, it's a good thing you get all this butter. How much sour cream do I need? 1 cup. I should have a cup. We need sour cream. Yeah. Do not drain the corn. Okay. Okay, I won't. Get out my Goodwill can opener. Oops.
What I have been doing is I have been looking specifically on Google. I will Google recipes with corn, and recipes will come up. I'll pick what I want to make, and then I'll make it. So I thought this would be a great side dish, and it was. My husband especially really loved it. But next time I'm going to put some Mexican spices in it. So I'm getting my oven
I decided to try a corn casserole, and I already put, whoops, there goes an eggshell. I already put Jiffy corn muffin mix in here, and now I'm adding 2 eggs. The reason I decided to try this is because when I did my pantry declutter, I noticed that I had a can of cream corn and a can of, well, and several cans of regular corn. We don't eat canned corn a lot. There is a dip I'm going to make for the Super Bowl, and I'll show you that too. But I needed to get some queso fresco in here. So I'm putting 1 can of corn that has the juice in it. I'm not draining it. And then a can of cream corn. And for some reason, my can opener didn't like this can. So it must have been a little warped. I've had this can for a while, but I can see the expiration date, and I have another year before I have to. Ah! Every video. Oh my goodness. Well, at least this time I got it on camera. Oh my word. You guys, see, this is the thing. If I can do it, you can do it. Oh my goodness. Well, at least this time I got it on camera. Oh my word. You guys, see, this is the thing. If I can do it, you can do it. So it was stuck, and I thought, oh, I could just lift up and be strong and get it. Now I've got cream corn in my hair and on my new shirt. My new Love Like Jesus Valentine's shirt. Oh, okay. Anyway, where were we? I got the corn muffin mix, 2 eggs, a can of corn that's not drained, a can of cream corn, and 1 cup of sour cream. I don't know that I have a cup in here, but let's pretend I do, because I don't have any more. I can literally feel cream corn sinking onto my scalp. Maybe it will moisturize my scalp. What do you think? I'm going to slow-mo that. I am so going to slow-mo that. You know I am. Maybe I can use that as my intro. Even better. Cooking with Karen. See, it's amazing because my food actually comes out tasting good. I have corn on my glasses. I get a lot of compliments on my food, so it tastes good. It's an adventure. My mom, who was a clean freak, used to get very, oh, that's a timer. Used to get very stressed out when I would cook because I was so messy. Okay. My nose is itchy. I'm gonna kiss a fool. Okay. Let's take the dip out that I made. La 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 la. So yummy. Then 1 stick of butter and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. We're gonna stir it up and put it in the oven.
This is a Southern recipe, and I got it online. I will try to remember to link it in my description box and in the first comments, but if I don't, please remind me. I used to spend Thanksgiving with a dear friend who is a Southerner, and she always had the best side dishes. Oh my goodness, but I love this because you just dump it in the bowl, you stir it up. I threw it in this cake pan. I think it was supposed to be in an 8x8, and I'm like, I don't have an 8x8, but we all survived. I put it in a cake pan, threw it in the oven for about an hour, brought it out, and it was done. You know, one of the things I've been doing lately that I wanted to share is I spend about an hour a day, this is completely off topic, running through the house and just vacuuming, dusting, making sure the dishes are kept up, laundry. And that has been a game changer. Recently, I think it was yesterday, the day before, I just went through this house like a tornado cleaning. It felt so good. And I feel like I finally have my house kind of back from the holidays. And I thought, I didn't film it, but I thought I'm going to get a good routine and I will start filming it again. And honestly, everything I did is going to need to be done again in about 5 minutes. So it really doesn't matter that way. It will definitely end up being some cleaning motivation for you. But I am just seeing the power of remember we used to do those power hours back in the day? Boy, those make a difference. Okay, putting it in 55 minutes, 325 degrees, take it out. Oh, there's a piece missing. Where is it? Here it is, and it tasted delightful.
Okay, the way I have done this is anything related to my kids is here, and then the top one is related to my husband or the house. So I'm actually going to change where you are stationed. That way I can chat with you about this stuff without, sometimes I show papers by mistake. I actually have a window open right now. I've been trying to do that for part of every day, just to kind of keep my bedroom aired out from germs and keep us from getting sick. I'm hoping that works. Plus, I just love fresh air and oxygen. So when I notice that the air doesn't like come into my room that strongly, so it doesn't really make it that cold until it's been open for hours. We're getting snow today, like up to 6 inches of fresh snow, but it's going to be a slow moving storm. So it's like 6 inches, but it's over like 7 hours. So half an inch an hour, that's not that big a deal. Woo! I'm just going to enjoy what it looks like, but there is a possibility of getting ice at the end of it. So I made sure I washed my hair because I don't wash my hair every day. I made sure that laundry's caught up. Dishes are not caught up right this second. I have been keeping up, but this morning it was like, I've got to get this done or it's not going to get done because it's the day before the video goes up and I don't like to edit if I'm like pushed or stressed for time. I just don't feel like it makes for a very good video. Okay, so what I did was I got these on Amazon. Of course you can get them at Staples or whatever, but they have the little ring and the elastic. They have the different colors. So really the girls can organize these however they want. It also has labels for them. It also has like little lined, almost like an index card. So they can, you know, have at it, right? I'm at that point in life that everybody is an adult. So who is first? Let's just pull it out. Youngest, Ava. She is actually moving in with a friend at the end of the month. I am just going to go through this and take out anything that I can see that is really trash. Because sometimes I will just, because like there's an account in here that's no longer active. It was just a little savings account like for kids, so nothing important. Sometimes what I will do is just, you know, shove their stuff in here and then they can kind of deal with it whenever. All right, I was going to put my trash in this nice bag, but now I'm laying it on the floor, so that didn't last very long at all. You know, and I'm just doing a quick thing, and then, you know, nobody needs an envelope, and that will just be my part in helping them a little bit, but definitely when they move out, it's good for them to take their paperwork. I understand the risk of they could lose it. But you know what? It's part of being an adult. I've lost paperwork. I bet you've lost paperwork. And you get through it. You get another copy. You write or call whoever you need to write or call, right? to get what you need. So while I'm going through this, told you we're having snow. Did I tell you that? So yes, I did in my intro. I said that we are going room by room, or I am going, not we, going room by room, decluttering. And I feel like, oops, this doesn't even belong to her. I feel like what is encouraging about that is it's kind of a sign that you've done the thing, you've decluttered, and now you're doing the upkeep, because there'll always be stuff you need to declutter because our needs change over time, or maybe we bought something we shouldn't have, maybe somebody gifted us with something that we really don't need. You know, there can be a lot of reasons why we get rid of things. So you always have to be going through your paperwork, your whole house, and just seeing what you don't need, keeping your inventory down. I can't wait to get there in the basement. I honestly cannot imagine getting there in the basement, but a lot of it is because I just keep reoffending. So I need to stop doing that. But you know, it's all a process that I'm not too worried about. Also, usually when I'm doing something like this, I'm listening to a podcast or something like that. If I am, you know, if I'm worried about getting bored, I'll listen to a podcast or even a TV show, a Netflix show. What am I watching right now on Netflix? It's a show called Madam Secretary that I'm enjoying. I love a good female protagonist show, and the language isn't all that bad. I'm sure it's not perfect, but not as bad. It's like TV PG instead of TV mature, which honestly, TV mature, what I find really annoying about it, it's just an F-bomb all the time. And do people actually talk that way all the time? It's a little hard to believe that that is how the whole world is talking, but maybe I am sheltered. I don't know. So, what are you watching on Netflix right now? My husband and I constantly vacillate between having things to watch and being showless. We like to watch FBI. Some of the shows are coming back, like Elsbeth, and we realized that we had missed an Elsbeth that came out December 19th. So we got to watch 2 Elsbeths since there's a new one up on Paramount Plus. Do you watch the Super Bowl? We are going to be rooting for the Chiefs because that's who Yvonne likes. So we're like, yeah, we'll go with it. No big deal. We rooted for them in the last one. What is this? Once in a while I'm like, wait, what is this? Is this something I need? So yeah, I like mystery shows. I like trying to figure out who done it. I love a female protagonist. I've been into like spy shows lately. So definitely loving Madam Secretary. Okay, so this one is done. Let's see what this little piece of paper is. We don't need that. And the cool thing is, then I'll have extra ones of these too. So I'll just put that back in here. And now Ava will have everything that she needs. So she likes to go by the name Jet. So I'm writing Jet in Sharpie just right there. And then I'm just going to put these in. I'm not real concerned about where they go necessarily, just that they go in. And then she can arrange it however suits her purposes. I'm not going to organize it. I did declutter it, so I feel like, you know, I did that service of decluttering it so that she knows just where everything is. She finished high school a little bit early, finishing in January. Originally, she was going to go all the way to June. I guess I can't put them all in one slot. She's going to go all the way to June because there was a class that wasn't being offered, but they did something. I think that she probably took that class online. She kind of likes to handle things on her own. She's that kind of person. So she kind of dealt with all of that. And I'm happy for her. It's very exciting. She doesn't want to go right in college. She wants to take some gap time. And like I said, she's moving out at the end of the month to stay with a friend, or live with a friend, I should say, not stay. So yeah, now she can go with her paperwork. It also means her sister Chrisia is going to have her own room because she was living in North Carolina and moved home. And I'm wondering, is that kind of how it is with girls? Do they just kind of boomerang? Let me know if that's the way it goes. Also, you know how you can you can deposit your checks online? Then do you keep the copies of the checks for 7 years? Let me know. If you live in the United States, especially. Aw, this is Yvonne's, and she has a Build-A-Bear, her Build-A-Bear gift, birth certificate in here. That's really cute. Very cute. So many papers. All right, I'm going to go through this a little more quickly, and then we will chat again. All right, that one was easy. She has a bit more paperwork. Some of it I could take out. So I'm gonna do that real quick because I have multiple copies of something that she doesn't need multiple copies of. Is next. This is Chrissy's. All right. Then I have some things I found of one of my sons that I need to mail to him. I've always taught them if there's anything important, just stuff it here in your file. And the file cabinet was downstairs until we moved everyone's bedroom. And then it ended up in my room. Not right away, but over time it just seemed that that was a better idea for me to do, was to have it up here in my room, because I would have to walk through the girls' bedroom in order to get to my files, which I did not want to do. One more. Very exciting. This feels so good to do. I see my husband and I also have some tax stuff in here. I usually try to keep up with every year throwing away that 8th year, or shred. You know what I mean by throw away. I try to be responsible. All right. But oftentimes, stuff gets kept, not because we need it, but because we think we might need it. But it'll feel good for this to be less. I mean, I have a 2-drawer file cabinet. I know I could put it on a hard drive. It just kind of makes me a little bit nervous to do that because I don't, you know, sometimes hard drives can break, you can lose stuff. Not that that can't happen here too, but it just feels a little more secure to have the paper. Or maybe it would be good to have both, but I definitely do not have the time or patience. Well, maybe it's just that I don't have the patience to be scanning everything in to a computer. All right, here's number 4. I feel like doing this just gives them another layer of independence. And I feel like that's a good thing. You know, you want to encourage, or I want to, I'm not saying you, I want to encourage my children toward independence. And at some point, it has to happen anyway. And they can always come to me at whatever time and ask for help. And I'd be happy to help. But the ask is super important to me, not me like jumping in and taking over. But them actually saying, hey, I don't understand this, would you help me understand? Because I can tend toward being controlling and wanting to keep everything running smoothly, even if that means I am in control of it to a level I should not be. This also helps. Sometimes one person's files will get in another person's file, you know, one person's paperwork. So if they're keeping their own, then that prevents that from happening as well. All right. Just kind of giving it a quick scan. Let's see what this is. There's some stuff I might need to go over with my husband rather than me decluttering it. So I'm not going to get too far here. And then some of these, like I can already see, I don't need anything out of it. Let's see. Make me a liar. YouTube reports, don't need that. Oh, yes I do. Okay, it's about Google AdSense. I should keep that. That I don't need. Things about like past counseling records, home records. I'll keep that. Oh, there's some receipts of payments. That's not needed.
This shows how thick it is, the paperwork that I'm able to declutter. And from the top, I put this on top just for privacy. And then they're each getting their own files. So that feels super, super good. Can you see that the snow has started? It's so quiet.
Okay, if you have already seen the nacho dip, then know that God loves you. I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time. But if you haven't seen that nacho dip, you definitely want to stay. Great for Super Bowl or any gathering you might be having. Great for Valentine's Day, for heaven's sakes, right? So yeah, stay tuned for that.
I'm starting with 1 cup of raw cashews, unsalted of course, and I'm going to be boiling them for 10 minutes. So you have a choice. You can soak them overnight if you think ahead, unlike me, or if you don't think ahead like me, you can boil them for 10 minutes. Next, I'm also going to cook 1 cup of peeled and chopped carrots. I had some carrots in the freezer that needed to be used up, so I was only too happy to use them on this dip. Next, I'm preparing the ingredients that are going to be combined with the cashews and such. So I am juicing enough for 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. You could definitely use the bottled lemon juice, but mine was expired, so thankfully I had this lemon in the refrigerator and was able to use it. This is me when I cook. It's like, what do they ask for, and then what do I have? To that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 1 large clove of garlic, 1¼ teaspoons of salt, 3/4 of a teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon onion powder, and if you want to, 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper or add it to taste. I don't add mine. I don't add it at all because I do usually have some of this dip and I can't have cayenne pepper, so I can tell you it's going to taste good whether you add the cayenne pepper or not. All of that is going to be for the cheese dip itself, but you're going to be combining everything anyway, so it's really not that big a deal. It's another one where you're just adding everything in and then you're going to dump it in a pan to cook. Once the cashews are done, you're going to drain them and rinse them as well. I honestly don't think I rinsed them. Maybe I did. I don't think I did. Anyway, you're going to add in the cashews, and then when the carrots are fork tender, you will drain those and add those as well. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to splash any ingredients in my face. I have learned, one of you said, why don't you use an emulsion blender if you have one? And I was like, hey, I do have one. But I was still thinking, what's wrong with this? It doesn't seem to be the right texture. I thought I need to add a little bit of water, and then, yeah, lo and behold, it calls for 2/3 of a cup of water, so make sure you add that too because it does make a difference. And now you can add 1 cup of your favorite marinara sauce. Mine is the Rouse marinara sauce. I just love it. And then to that, 2 to 3 handfuls of baby spinach, roughly chopped. I didn't have any. I did have some kale that needed to be used up, and then I had a little bit of frozen spinach, so I used both of them, and it was just great. I mean, the spinach is great in it, and I love it in it, but at the same time, it doesn't add a make or break flavor to the dip. So if you guys don't like it, you don't have to add it, but we like it, so I actually liked the kale in it. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of finely chopped onion. And I ended up adding 2 small onions. I didn't actually, oh no, I guess I am measuring it. What do you know? I forgot. So yeah, 1 cup of finely chopped onion. Then you're gonna crush enough corn chips to be 1/3 of a cup. And again, not important the exact measurement. We love these cochille chips. They're just so thin and delicate. So I'm smashing them in a freezer bag and I'm gonna be spreading them across the top of the dip. I think it would be kind of good to melt some butter and drizzle that too if you are able to have. Of course, this is supposed to be a vegan recipe, but you could always use a plant-based butter. But I think it would be neat to have it like browned and more crisp. It stays crispy, but because it is a chip, but still, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of neat to have it a little buttery on top. Either way, just spread those across the top. You're going to put it in a 400-degree oven. Cook it 25 to 30 minutes, and then it's going to come out like a dream. And take your favorite corn chip and dip yourself away. And it is so absolutely yummy.
Okay, if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. I love you so dearly. Ooh, way too much blush. This is Willa. Boy, does it go on dark. So you gotta really blend it out. Anyway, remember as always, God loves you and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.